Hi, I'm Ryan LaPlante.
And I'm Tyler Hewitt.
And we are the crazy people who created both Garbage Town the Movie Podcast and Dum Dums and Dragons. And we are super excited to announce that we're starting a podcast production company called Garbage Productions.
So if you head over to patreon.com/Garbage Productions, you can actually subscribe for as little as $1 and you can get some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, you can actually help support the show and help us get made. For $1 a month, you get advance notice on all the upcoming movies on Garbage Town so you can suffer through them yourself. You get advance notice on guests coming up on DD&D so you have an idea of where that's headed, and you have access to our community and comments. For additional money, you get even more input, even more say, and you're even more a part of the shows.
We definitely want to hear from you, so go over there, check it out, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, patreon.com/Garbage Productions. Become a garbage person with us. Welcome back to Dum Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukkake, your host. Having returned L'il Pim-Pim to his rightful throne, our heroes are moving onwards to defeat the Black Spider and save Gundran's dwarf brothers. Will they be able to find the Wave Echo Caverns? Will they find a new friend along the way? Will Quinny immediately piss off a new guest once again? Find out next on Dum Dums and Dragons.
So you all feel very well rested after your evening at Cragmaw Castle, now a new home of King L'il Pim-Pim. And in fact, you feel so well rested that all of you can level up to level 4.
Sweet!
Your adventures have taught you much, and you feel you're beginning to come into your true potential. All it took was one good adventure with an orc warlord. So you set out early in the morning. The flaming forest has now come down to a dull blaze. It seems like overnight the flames were gently quenched by the climate.
Possible RIP our mule.
We'll find out, I guess.
So, well, let's see. Nope, your mule's good.
Yeah.
Good. I was kind of worried about all our shit attached to the mule.
I burned most of mine in a fire, so it's not important.
Plus, that's a rental mule, so I mean...
No, we bought this one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, purchased the mule.
My quarterstaff's on that guy.
We should name this
Better not
mule.
burn up.
All right, question 1. What are we naming the mule? I think it survived a forest fire. I go with Flamer.
Let's try and top Flamer. Let's try and top that. Great idea. I bet we can beat it.
Oh, do you know
Hot
what?
ass.
And who are you, my friend? I was
You
saying,
hear a voice inside your head.
Hot ass. I'm your conscience. Hot ass.
all right, so I'm going to do a quick prayer to see if this conscience is real. I think it's the goddess Moonhammer. Guys, it should be named Hot Ass.
Yeah, fine.
All right.
Fuck it.
Amazing. All right, to the road, Hot Ass.
Gundran, who is still pretty fucked up, having been, beaten up and tortured a bunch, seems a little put off that you're not rushing to save his brethren, but instead debating the name of a mule. But he gets over it. And his boots are so nice.
I pick up
those
the
nice
injured
boots.
Gundran, and I'm like, this will be better for you. And I just put him on Hot Ass. And I let him, ride. I make him a hammock. Because I had one built for the dog. He can probably just
You know what?
Ride, can he?
He's critically excited about that. It seems, the table hammock combo is a real comfortable way to ride a mule.
I have no idea what that looks like.
Oh, well, basically, you got a mule.
Check our Patreon.
No, you got a mule. This makes sense.
Yeah.
Listen, I built it, so listen, Alan, let me explain how this works. So mules are surprisingly sturdy. A lot of people don't think they have flat spines, but ours does. Hot Ass has got a real great body.
This is time for deviant art to kick in.
That's right.
Yeah. So you lay a table lengthwise. It's a wide table. So the 4 table legs actually go down on the outside of each of Hot Ass's legs, sort of
Okay.
like armor from the side, which makes a nice flat back. Where I've stacked some of my rope and climbing kits and some pieces from our tents, which we got because I bought us tents because I'm a nice guy. There's a hammock
whatever.
between those 2 stacks, and then I sat Gundran in the middle of it because he's hurt, and I want him to feel better. So now he just gets to
That's
swing in this hammock.
absurd.
And he
But
critically
okay.
feels better.
Yeah, he
is-
feels so much better. Is he injured? Should I how injured is he? Because I can use a spell.
I believe you did last session. Did
Oh,
you
great.
not?
Yeah, he's probably
Yeah, you
good
healed
then.
him up.
Yep.
You're
So-
fine, Gundran. Stop being so grumpy.
My boots are nice. Judging from the condition of Gundran, you feel like he's probably not up for adventuring. So, do you want to send him back to town, or do you want to bring him with you?
I think he and Seldar should probably meet up and discuss how to proceed.
All right, so I look at Hot Ass, and Gundran's up in the hammock, and we're on the road. So I just point Hot Ass towards town, and I say, "To town, Hot Ass!" And I smack him on the ass and just send him into the distance. And
Hot Ass says, "Mule snarf."
and I have absolute faith that he will get to town.
I like turn around and just start walking away. I'm not worried about it.
Do we even know where we're going?
Yeah, we've seen maps. Gundran told us.
Yeah,
I
Gundran's
was like,
giving you
back
a
to
map
town.
of the
All
entrance.
right.
As the mule carries him off, he yells back, "Please, please, save my brothers if you can."
What?
We can't hear you. You're too far away.
Damn, fuck, god damn. He says off into the distance. So from the map you drew, you realize that you can get from L'il Pim-Pim's fortress, you can, Craigmaw Keep, you can make it to the Wave Echo Cave, probably in the span of one day. It won't take you that long. So you head out in that direction.
Looking forward to sleeping under the trees since you just sent our mule carrying our tents back to town.
Listen, it's important for Gundran to be comfortable.
With 3 tents.
Yeah, if boots look that good, they're probably not very functional.
1 tent for Gundran, and then 1 tent for each boot.
1 tent for hot ass. Why do you got to be so cruel? And they've got a table to have meetings at. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to miss that table. I wish I just strapped that table to my back and kept walking. Guys, when we have meetings, can we pretend there's a table?
No,
You
I'm
mean
not
like
humoring
mime
you in
it?
this.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to mime a table.
To be fair, they have been humoring you in quite a few things. I think this one then
Starting to draw the line.
Regardless, this is your conscience.
So you start heading towards the Wave Echo Cave, which is located not too far, actually, from Phandalin, which makes sense since the town was originally set up as a mining town to support the mine back in the day. And the entrance that the Rockseeker brothers found is, it looks like it's sort of a small cleft in the rock. It looks like it wasn't the original entrance, but rather sort of a, in their excavations, they managed to find sort of a side route in.
Okay.
So you arrive there without difficulty. You are at the entrance of the cave. It's been a long day of travel. What do you do?
I'd say as a thief, I'm inclined to, use darkness to our advantage.
Yeah, I'm like, let's wait until like midnight or something and then
Make our way in
move.
Great. You kind of take up positions in and around the entrance to the cavern, and you're you're waiting for midnight. You keep an eye out. Obviously, you're keeping watch. What's the watch order you want to keep?
I would say Quinny and I might both actually be watching because he's good at spotting sneaky people, but I got like pretty sick perception. Like I'm used to late night watches as a mercenary guy. So
In fact, do you want to kind of stay with Alyn while she masters some spells in her book and stuff like that, and like watch our sort of designated area? And can I kind of check things out a little bit?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I'd go for that. Yeah, cool. So Alyn will read a book. I'll be watching the road, and we'll let Quinny do like a rough scout of the area.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of check the area out and see if there's anything noteworthy that
Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Sure.
Oh, and I'm going to send Goblin Jr. off to back up Quinny in case he runs into trouble.
So total of 9.
9? Okay.
Real casual walkabout.
Casual walkabout. So it doesn't look like there's been a whole lot of traffic too recently, but you can see that the grass and stuff around the entrance has been tamped down a bit.
Okay.
Seems like not that long ago, probably a lot of things came through this way, but it seems like there hasn't been a lot of traffic in and out.
Okay, so from that, I suppose I can deduce that a lot has kind of come in, but nothing is coming out?
Yes.
Okay.
Looks about right.
Okay.
Alyn, you are reading up on your spells, you're learning
Yep.
things, when all of a sudden you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you turn
What?
to see
Hello?
an elf
Oh, shit, even with...
crouching
Oh, man, he snuck up on you.
close behind you. You recognize that he's wearing the colors of the Temple of Ogma that you recently departed from. He looks you dead in the eye and says,
Where the fuck do you think you're going?
I immediately misty step away. So I'm like 20 feet away from you now.
Where'd you go?
I'm just, who? What? Hello? Who are you? What are you doing here? What?
I'm a ranger.
Butthole? Quinny? You guys want to get over here?
I stopped teaching Goblin Jr. a trick where I was standing with Quinny and go over to see what the hell's going on.
I'm making my way back to camp then.
I'm a protector of the blank page, and I've come to take you back.
I'm going to say no.
What?
No, I left and I'm not going back.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Butthole Farch, Cleric of Moonhammer. I want to clear some shit up here. What's your name, new friend?
I'm a ranger.
Hello, Arranger. All right, so wait, no, I'm not going to ask that question. I'm just going to keep rolling with it. I stride into like the middle of the 20 feet, like I'm 10 feet from each party, and I'm like, nice to meet you. You're here to take Alyn away?
Yes.
Alyn, you don't want to go?
Nope.
All right, buddy. No.
It's on behalf of the blank page, the temple of the blank page.
Okay, yelling is,
Yeah.
first of all, not going to help anybody.
I come running in at this point, and I see my friend Butthole Farch, the cleric, and I see Alyn, the wizard, and then I see. Well, what do I see when I look at you, our third person?
You see a furrowed brow.
Yeah. Okay.
You see hair all around this region. The face.
The face, got it. Like a beard almost.
Pointy ears.
Oh wow, that's
Long hair tied back in the most delicate ponytail you've ever seen.
okay.
And black. Covered in black.
Covered in black, like a ninja.
No, like a ranger.
Okay, so I come running out and I see this and I say, "Who are you?"
I'm Ranger. The Ranger.
Yeah, I know. That was weird for me too, but we're letting that part go.
I can see you're a ranger. What's your name?
I'm Ranger. And I'm coming to bring Alyn back to the blank page temple.
Okay, first of all, we really got to all stop asking the same questions.
I just got here.
I know, but it's good. Okay, we got this. So you're a ranger.
Oi.
You are Alyn.
Yeah, Tom, can you remind me what I know about the blank page?
So Ogma is the goddess of the blank page.
Yeah.
This is the temple from which you came. You remember that at your home temple, there was often groups you would see kind of moving through the woods outside that you didn't really have much contact with, that you were told were the protectors of the temple. This would seem to be one of the rangers, perhaps the ranger or a ranger, depending on how you want to say it, who is tasked with keeping the temple safe. You didn't have any contact with these people because you were always sort of inside practicing, but you recognize him as one of their order. So you know that if he's here, it's because the temple has recognized your absence, and perhaps your mother has instructed the higher-ups that you're missing. And this hadn't quite occurred to you when you left, but having now melted several people to death, the idea of one of their wizards running off into the world without completing their training might be cause for concern for the Temple of the Blank Page.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to turn back to Ranger. And I'm just going to say, listen, this is probably going to sound weird, but I'm sure we can sort this out peaceably. Can you just sit on the ground for a minute while we have a chat over here?
While I dislike the order, I will follow it for now.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So I sort of cross over to Alyn. I wave Quinny over. We have a little huddle with Goblin
you
Jr.
had a table.
Oh, listen, don't get into. I'm already regretting the table mistake. It's so famous for me. It's called the table mistake in my head. Then I'm like, Alyn, what the fuck is going on? But in the name of Moonhammer, help us out here. I don't want to murder this guy. He's got a really delicate ponytail.
Do I need to get stabby?
I don't think so. Look, guys, I studied in a temple. You guys know I'm a half elf, right?
Yeah.
I was raised amongst elves. My mom, she just wanted me to be an elf. She didn't give a shit about the human side of me.
Was your mom an elf?
Oh, yeah. She's an elf.
It'd be fucked up if she was a human and be like,
Be an elf. You never know. There's a lot of self-hating humans out
all
there.
right, fair enough.
So, I spent a lot of time studying in the temple, just learning as much as I could so that I could just go out into the world and just leave that suffocating life behind. And now this idiot's going to bring me back. No, thank you.
I can hear you.
Okay, just a second. I don't want to be too rude. So I take out a little tin mug that I have, and I put some water in it, and I'm like, take this to our friend. And I put the mug down to Goblin Jr., who takes it and walks it over to Ranger to offer him.
Who's just working on his braid.
Great. So he's braiding, and Goblin Jr. will offer him some water. So
Goblin
keep
Jr.
talking.
is a wolf, just so you know.
A wolf
Yeah.
in chainmail armor, custom made for the wolf.
What the fuck are you?
Snarf, snarf.
That's the sound he makes.
I like your style.
Goblin Jr. sets down the cup of water for our friend, and then Goblin Jr. reaches into his little pouch at his belt, and he takes out 2 silver pieces, and he just sets them on the ground beside it as a gift, and then he goes back to join us.
reaches into his belt?
Yeah, he has a little pouch on his side that he could reach into.
With his head?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
He's got his mouth.
Okay.
He can lick his own dick. He can get where he needs to go.
You know what? Fair enough.
If you're trying
How
to
dare I question?
if you're trying to pay me off, it's not gonna work.
Goblin Jr. looks back at you slowly and then just shakes his head side to side like no, and it's snarf, and just goes back to
I was
the
like, it's
group.
not going to work? Okay. And I go over and pick up the 2 silver pieces.
And Goblin Jr. looks at you and gives you a knowing nod. What do we want to do, Alan? What do we do?
I mean, I'm not going with him.
No, I get that. No, whoa. I want to be clear.
Damn straight you're not going
There's
with
never
it.
a scenario
We're
where I
about
was
to go
like,
into a fucking mine. We don't know, like, if this could be a straight line with a bunch of bad shit at the end of it. We need our
Yeah.
spellcaster.
Yeah.
What is the Temple of the Blank Page like? Do you know anything about this ranger? Like, what's his favorite stuff? I could go ask him, but I figured let's try to manipulate him.
I just know, I mean, I haven't had a lot of interaction with these guys. They protect the temple, so I'm going to say he has magic.
Hey,
Is
Ranger.
my guess.
Hey,
Oi.
what are you all about?
Fighting, protecting, and more fighting.
In that order?
And some minor braid work.
Got it.
Well, listen then.
Oh, man, that's a beautiful braid.
Listen then, friend. And I just start strolling over because I think I got this. So you like fighting, right?
Oi.
So how would you feel about an evil elf trying to create a terrifying future with unlimited evil magical weapons?
And we're not talking about Alyn here.
No, Alan's great. But we're talking about a drow who's just like murderous, wants a cave full of weapons, and is going to destroy the world.
Does this villain wish to harm Alyn?
It wishes to harm your temple. He's an atheist. He's just a real dick. I don't like him either.
Oh?
So, you know what? He's got weapons, and the three of us were going to go in. Here's our problem. I don't know if the three of us can do it. If you take Alyn, we're completely screwed, so that's sort of off the table. But if you go with us, maybe you could help us defeat this evil atheist, and we could save your temple from a world of destruction.
Well, I don't like the order. Or request. I will follow if I can bring back Alyn to the temple when all is done.
I would say let's negotiate that again at the end. Does that sound fair? We're not going to say no, but we're not going to say yes.
Sorry, I was doing my tails here. What? I'll just go along, yes.
Great. All right. So we're agreed.
Great attitude, buddy. My name's Quinny, by the way.
Fuck you.
Oh, God. Twice in a fucking row.
Yeah, I was saying, Quinny, you seem to be really making bad first impressions.
Yeah, I'm just going to head
Well,
towards
to be
the mine
fair, you did
entrance.
have one friend, but then he died fighting a dragon, so...
Don't remind me.
And you threatened to kill me. Big ears. Long memories.
If you want an idea of what we all look like, so we can roll
Yes.
forward on this, I'm Butthole Farch. I'm about 6'4". I'm human, probably about 240, 250. Imagine The Rock if he was out of shape. I'm wearing full plate mail armor, so I look like a stereotypical knight in an RPG. I'm bald. I have a huge bushy beard, and I smell like farts. And my companion is Goblin Jr., who's a wolf, who's also wearing full body chainmail. And we're both covered in the symbol of Moonhammer, which is a butt with a warhammer coming right out of the butthole out the top, which is the symbol of my god.
All right, but
Yeah. You don't have to take that in stride if it seems weird.
what about you? Are you?
I'm a halfling. My name's Quinny Brownbarrow. I'm a thief. That's about all there is to me.
So human, halfling thief, and
Half
half
elf.
Well,
Yeah.
I knew that, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so we've been scoping out the insides. Basically, what I saw at the entrance, it seems like we got a relatively big group. They've clearly been here a while. I don't expect heavy fortifications, but there might be some fortifications. If they're smart or capable, and from what we've seen of the Black Spider seems like the only not idiot that we've bumped into so far. I wouldn't want to rush into any rooms down there. But they've been using goblins and hobgoblins, so they may have set off any of the traps the cave has of its own.
Yeah, well, my concern is if it looks like stuff was going in, but there's not much traffic anymore, maybe something's happened to the people in there. You know, you're mining and you work your way through a wall, and all of a sudden you've broken into some kind of horrible monster hive.
So I make the sign of Moonhammer, which is like a human butthole. Like you curve your
this
hands
is
into
new.
like two
Okay.
fingers,
Yeah.
but then you
Oh.
leave one finger poking all the way up to be the Warhammer.
Similar to like how the Bloods like spell out
what I was
blood with their
thinking.
fingers.
Yeah, only
Cool,
if it was
okay.
spelling like do.
That would, of course, be the Bloods of Neverwinter. They hang out at,
Yeah.
the Baldur's Gate Bloods.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Famous band.
And the Crypts of Hammerfell.
So he makes that symbol, leans down, and then just prays for a second. And he's like, yeah, no, that's a bad sign. Like, Moonhammer says that could be a real problem. There could be something scary down there.
You up for some dangerous fighting, protecting, and braid work, Mr. Arranger? Is it Arranger or Ranger?
I'm Ranger.
All right, big ears.
Fuck you.
And then I just sort of end up stepping between them, and, like, I gently gesture Quinny to, like, lead the way.
All right. I'm heading towards that mine entrance.
So the entrance tunnel leads into a large cavern supported by a natural pillar of rock containing 3 stalagmites. In the western part of the cave, behind the column of rock, are 3 bedrolls and a heap of ordinary supplies. Sacks of flour, casks of salted meat, lanterns, flasks of lamp oil, pickaxes, shovels, and other gear. Amid the supplies, you see the body of a dwarf miner, dead for at least a week. The northeastern section of the cavern has collapsed, forming a 10-foot wide, 20-foot deep pit. A sturdy hemp rope is tied off by a nearby stalagmite and dangles down the side of the pit, at the bottom of which is a rough-hewn tunnel heading northwest and east.
Is anybody going to eat this dwarf?
Holy shit.
Wow, this is not where I thought we were going right out the gate.
I'm sorry.
what kind of hard motherfuckers you got
so
at this
now
temple?
we're, what, cannibals?
When you live in the forest as long as I have, protecting the Temple of the Black Page.
Blank page?
That's what I said, fucko.
Quinny, this is why people don't like you. It's okay. It's a great question.
I want to kill this one,
No, we need him.
but I want to.
Do you know what? And if there's one thing I know about the Temple of the Blank Page that I am not guessing at, and I look at Alyn and I'm like, I'm looking at Alyn and I'm clearly going to make a statement, but I'm going to make it slow so that she can try to jump in to make sure I'm right. And I'm like, you've got to think things through and not kill first. And I'm like, I just shake my head knowing Alyn was no fucking help. And I'm just,
You want to roll me a
Praying.
charisma check there?
yeah.
I see this as taboo, so I won't.
Oh, thank God. I'm not telling you what that check result was. He's right. Then I circle over and I want to check the dwarf to see if it's one of the Rockseeker brothers.
Does he have nice boots or nice gloves?
You know what? He actually does have very nice boots.
Fuck.
It would seem that
damn it.
whoever killed the dwarf was being fairly hasty about it because they overlooked a fine pair of boots of striding and springing.
All right, so I'm going to take off his boots, and I'm uncomfortable with this, so I like take the boots, and I'm just holding them, and then I call Goblin Jr. over, and I'm like, guys, I'm going to need a minute to make this right. And I just stand over him, and Goblin Jr. comes up next to me, and I just start farting that mournful song I farted at every funeral. Brr, brr, brr. Brr, brr, brr.
Is this what usually happens?
Yes.
Brr, 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 brr. And tears fill my eyes, and I'm like, 21 dog salute. Goblin Jr. beside me farts out 21 gunshot like farts, where it's like, purr, purr. Just with that long dramatic pause in between each of them. And after the 21st fart, I'm like, thank you, my friend. Moonhammer will watch over you in the afterlife. And I turn to Quinny,
And I'm like, yup.
and I say, if anyone needed fancy boots, do I know their boots are striding and springing?
Sure.
Oh, then I'm like, it's going to be useful for you because you're short and they help you jump. And then I
think
just
probably have
hand them
similar
over to
foot
him.
size to a dwarf. So if I put these on, do I get any kind of benefits?
All right, so Quinny, your boots of striding and springing mean that when your speed becomes 30 feet, unless your walking speed is higher, and your speed is not reduced if you're encumbered or wearing heavy armor. In addition, whenever you jump, you can jump 3 times the normal distance.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's good because you've been doing a lot of jumping and springing. That makes sense.
I don't know what the average distance is. Is there an approximation for that?
For jump distance,
Well, he couldn't jump over that pit.
Hey,
Well-
that was a long time ago.
I was going to say, we actually don't know if he could have jumped. If
I was
that
thrown.
Yeah.
You were thrown. I forgot about that.
The good times when Prince Mudbutt threw Quinny over a 10-foot pit and then fucked him up and threw him right into the pit.
Thank God I learned Featherfall.
Oh, Dungeon Master.
oh yes, sir.
What's the length of my jump with
So
these
generally,
boots?
it is a strength-based check. Often it will be athletics.
Okay.
But given that your strength is 8,
Yep.
if you take a good solid run, you can jump about 8 feet.
So with these boots, it's tripled.
Yes.
I'd also like you guys to know that my ability Second Story Work allows me to add my Dex modifier to the distance I can cover while jumping.
Jesus Christ.
So
So-
it's actually 28.
I'm going to say I gave him the boots because I knew they'd help him jump better, but Butthole has no fucking clue that it's that effective. But yeah, so you got the boots, and I'm like, yeah, so we'll return to the brother if we need to. So I was like, do you have your other boots? And then I'll take them and put them in my backpack because you're smaller than me, so I'll hang on to them because I can carry them
My
easier.
little booties, thanks.
Yeah, I got your little booties.
Yeah.
I try to put them on my hand as like gloves, but they don't fit all the way because they're so tiny. And then I laugh, and Goblin Jr. laughs, a dog laugh. Ranger's into it.
Small hands.
Well, he's sort of confused about how this joke works, but we're just going to let it ride.
Forced.
So I put them in my backpack, and then I want to check the rest of the bedrolls. I want to see if there's any clues about what's going on or who this is. And then I sort of gesture to Quinny. I'm like, do you want to look? You seem to be better at finding things than me.
Oh, yeah, I'm a real good rummager.
Sure. So again, it looks like this was a pretty quick and dirty murder. The items seem to be some basic mining implements.
Nothing special
nothing
hidden there
special,
or anything?
no.
Okay, then that's fine. I'll leave that stuff.
All right, so we've got 2 ways we can exit. There's the northeast, southwest.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to grab a pickaxe, and I'm
Okay.
going to toss it to Butthole. Be like, there might be some cave-ins or something like that, or we might need to kind of create our own shortcut. You're a buff-looking dude, so here, take this.
I take it, but I don't like it. Like it's not a hammer. Like I catch it one-handed, but I look at it like it smells bad, and then I sort of like just put it in my backpack. But I don't like my backpack anymore.
Great. So yes, at the northeastern section of the cavern has collapsed. So there's a 10-foot wide, 20-foot deep pit. Now you can see that the Rockseeker brothers had tied off a hempen rope that leads down to the base of the pit. Base of the pit, you can see there are 2 exits, one tunnel leading northwest and one leading east.
Anything across this gap?
No, it's across the gap is just solid wall. So
okay. So
basically
this
they
is
had
the
to
entrance.
they had to go
Okay.
kind of. There's the collapsed pit. They went down, and then by digging through that, we're able to access the.
So I look over and say, "Hey, Ranger, do you got any like dark vision or anything? Can you see in the dark?"
I can hear in the dark.
Like a bat?
I can see in the dark.
Big ears?
He can also see in the dark.
Okay, perfect. I'm like, "Thanks, Alan." Can all elves see in the dark?
Yeah.
All right, so Ranger, do you want to go down first and check this out? Because then you can be like sneaky in the dark.
You're not gonna leave if I go down there first, are you?
We brought you here.
Quinny, like, has an internal motor. It's like, oh, fuck, that's such a good idea.
And I'm like, we were already going. You're acting like this was an elaborate plot to put you down there when we asked you to come with us. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, I'm a cleric of Moonhammer. If you don't believe me, check this shit out. And I hold my hand up, and my hand just glows really bright for a second.
Oh, this is a guy I can trust.
Oh my god.
Alan, where did they find this guy?
I have no idea. Well, from home, but they're all freaking idiots.
So I'm like, all right, if you want to go down first. But first, let me bless you, my child, because I got a new sick spell at level 4. It's called Guidance. And I raise my hand up to in front of his face, and I make the sign of Moonhammer with my hand again, little blood dew, and then I fart, and the glowing fart comes up, and it circles around his head and makes a little halo. And the power of this is, for up to a minute, I can add 1d4 to any result to any of his ability checks.
So are you sending him down with a glowing halo now?
It glows and then it goes invisible because it's appropriate for this moment.
Thank you, butt chunk.
Butthole.
Okay, I'm gonna safety pin myself to this piece of rope with my tail. Here goes.
I need you to roll me an athletics check.
3.
Luckily, it is a skill check, so Moonhammer grants you an additional D4. So Ryan, you want to roll that?
Adds an additional 3, so he has 6 total.
Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately, Ranger, you're used to climbing outside, but climbing a rough-hewn rope is a little more difficult than you previously think, and you begin to fall. But because you've pinned yourself to the rope, I'm going to give you one more chance.
Oh, with your hair, that's going to hurt.
So, roll me a D20.
I knew this baby would come in handy.
What is it? I can't see.
That is a 1. It is a critical fail.
Guys, we're definitely leaving him. Come on, he's begging to be left behind.
Ranger,
Right.
your braid is actually...
the braid!
It's not holding.
It was too beautiful for this world. And as you fall, your hair majestically comes unbraided and flutters in the wind as you fall for 20 feet and you take damage from landing.
I have an internal struggle about this because I really don't want to expend a spell slot.
And I look over at Alan, and I know this is like a defining moment for her character.
We are in full Hans Gruber at the end of Die Hard here.
He's fallen, but
So he's
ever
falling-
so
he's-
slowly.
every-
Do you know
Everything's-
what? He's misguided. He's not a bad guy. I don't think.
The thing, all the filming goes into slow motion. He's falling like arms up Hans Gruber.
His braid is coming apart majestically.
I'm turning from him to Alan, and I raise like one hand towards her, and I'm like, Alan!
Quinny is slow-mo laughing his ass off.
Goblin
And
Jr.'s
I-
like, snore.
I begrudgingly cast Featherfall.
Damn. So Ranger, suddenly you feel as though you're falling in slow motion, but everything else is moving in regular motion.
What the fuck?
And you drift gently and safely to the ground.
Okay, All right. Everybody come down.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fucking elves.
I'm like,
I can hear that.
hey,
Ralph says fucking elves.
so Ranger, why don't you just scope out the doors? You don't need to leave, but just watch in case anybody comes in. And then I'm like, hey, Quinny, I don't want to send you down there alone, but I got to tie up the dog. And lower Goblin Jr.
After what I've just seen, I'm like, I think I can take him if it comes down to it down there.
All right, so Quinny, you want to go down first?
Yeah, I'll climb down.
All right, athletics check, please, sir.
It is 10.
So you start making your way down, but the rock surface is slicker than you thought.
Yeah.
And you begin to fall, sir.
Carelessly laughing to myself, like, he fucking fell. What an idiot. Oh, God!
So you begin to fall. Ranger, here's a question for you. You see a halfling start to fall from the sky above you, laughing, going into an oh shit. Do you want to try and catch the halfling?
I'll catch the little bastard.
All right. So can you please roll me a dexterity check to see if your reflexes are up to the task?
8.
So 8 plus 3 for a total of 11. So you manage to catch Quinny in your arms.
Like a baby. Yeah. Quinny is just the hobbit sized.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like 4.5 feet tall or less.
So there I am.
And I
Like,
look over to Alyn.
I look at you and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything first. Like,
I look over to Alyn and I'm like, don't tell them I said this, but that's adorable.
You happen to fall right in my arms, that's all.
yeah. And I push myself off him and I'm like, thanks for getting in my way and being useful about it.
Fuck you.
All right, who's up next?
All right, I'm going to go down.
This can only end well.
I immediately, having seen how Quinny did, I'm not even going to ask Alyn because she's got dignity, so I don't want to affect this, but I make the sign of Moonhammer behind her, and I make a silent fart that makes a little glowing hail that disappears really fast, and she doesn't even see it, but I cast guidance on her.
So 10?
Yeah. I know what
got
that
it.
result means.
Plus 4 from the guidance, so 14 total.
Alyn, you start lowering yourself down the rope, and you remember from your days of training at the temple gym how much you hated climbing ropes. But for
fuck.
some reason, you feel like you're just a little bit better at it today than you normally would be. In fact, you're successfully better at it today than you normally would be. You're pretty convinced it's all you, though.
Yeah,
you're getting real good at stuff.
I lean over the edge of the cliff and I go, "Good job, Alyn. That was all you." And then
And I'm just looking smug.
Goblin
then-
Jr. shoots you a look like, we did it.
And then I look at Goblin Jr. and I'm like, "You know what's up." And Goblin Jr.'s like, "Snarf, snarf." And then I'm like, "All right, buddy." And then I pull the rope up from where they are.
Hey,
And
fuck
then-
you. What's
yeah.
going on up there?
Then I'm like, "I'm leaving." Ha! And I'm like, just kidding. And then I tie the rope around Goblin Jr. and I lower him down slowly and carefully, simultaneously realizing I totally could have done this for Quinny and Alyn.
You sure could have. Goblin Jr. arrives safely at the bottom with no magic needed.
Then I'm like, "Can somebody untie the rope?"
Yeah, I untie it.
All right, so I pull it back up. I go 3 feet up the rope and tie that around my waist, and then I do like a sick rappel down.
All right, roll me an athletics check.
I guide myself with the blessings of Moonhammer. 19 total.
It's so epic. You repel
SWAT from a helicopter
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep, medieval SWAT.
I get to the bottom, and it's so smooth that for the last 10 feet, I do one of those like sick like Cirque du Soleil where they go down the rope at the end, and it's like flippy awesome shit,
like spinning around.
Yeah, like the spinning thing, and then I manage to untie my waist seamlessly, and I land in like a superhero pose on one knee where I hit the ground and the ground cracks because I'm so fucking cool, and then I stand up and I'm like, "All right, let's do this."
I need you to roll me a...
No, I said I did it.
Yeah, I know you did. You do. No, you absolutely do that. That all happened. I need you to roll me a Constitution save.
10.
You're very lucky. You, as you do it, you feel the reverberation of metal against stone, and it kind of fucks you up a little bit, but you feel like you'll be all right. You'll just limp a little bit.
And I stand up and do like the football thing where I like point to the sky where it's like Moonhammer, and I'm like, "It's all you, baby." And
If it
then,
weren't for the general thought smell, that would be the coolest thing I ever saw.
thanks, Ranger. I appreciate it, man. Alyn really got your back there. I'm glad you're okay. And you saved Quinny. See, this is what it's about. Do you know what, guys? This may be a little premature, but I think we're like a family. We've had our challenges. We don't always get along, but you know what? We come through for each other.
All of a sudden, there's a tremendous booming noise, and you feel the ground beneath you shake slightly.
So,
What
guys,
the fuck was that?
this cave does not like families.
So it's like a villain in a Fast and
The
Furious
cave is
movie.
alive.
Yep, exactly.
Have a quick look around with your dark vision. Can we light a torch? Is it safe to light torches down here?
Yeah, you don't hear anything other than the giant boom.
All right, I light a torch.
'Kay.
And then I light a second one and give it to Quinny, so if Quinny wants to go look somewhere where I'm not standing, he can still see.
No.
I take it back from Quinny and put it out, and I'm
Thank
like,
you.
fucking asshole.
It was just my keys. Lost my keys. They're on the ground. Sorry about that.
It's a good thing for the torch. So yeah, you're in this little section here on the map.
Yep, so we're down to the so we have two ways to go, essentially right or left. Or
That is correct.
does anybody have a reason for us to go right or left, or shall I let the goddess decide?
Oh, God. Anything but the goddess deciding. Alyn, please choose.
Let's go right.
Okay, right it is.
So I'll take the lead as we go. I got the torch, and I'll have Goblin Jr. just behind me for our sweet back tackle.
Yeah.
And I got
Ranger,
my...
you're next.
Do you want Ranger at the back?
Nope.
You note that Ranger seems to be armed with a very fine-looking short sword and a scimitar.
So
I
take,
want him in sight.
I take my shield and hammer out, and I'm going to go front. So Quinny's at the back then? We don't want to leave you at the back. You keep getting stabbed in the back, Alyn. I'm really concerned. Listen, I know you're worried
You
about
guys
Ranger.
are a light source for me now, okay? So you're always kind of like ahead of me. I can be in the shadows and kind of make my way through stuff.
Okay.
I won't necessarily be able to see details, but I can see the torch that's lit ahead of me without
So,
being lit. So
Alyn,
I'll
Okay.
stay at the very back.
I'm here to protect Alyn.
Okay, perfect. So you go in front of Alyn. So I'm going to take the lead.
All right.
We're going to have Ranger second. Alyn will go third because Alyn's got the light, and Quinny will hide behind Alyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goblin Jr. is behind and to the right of me, just off my shoulder. Like if I said heel. and Goblin Jr. knew what the fuck was up, like he does, then we're good to keep going. Also, he looks real cool. Like just the torchlight glinting off of his like wolf chainmail, so good. So if this was a movie, we'd sell so many Goblin Jr. action figures. Like every kid would want one, and his catchphrase would be "snarf, snarf." Of course.
Yeah, but you have like one of those shitty voice boxes.
Oh yeah. Like it would be distorted, and it would the batteries.
All
would
your favorite lines.
All right, so
Insert new battery.
all right, so we move into the next room. We got our lineup going.
So many tunnels intersect at this natural 30-foot-high cavern. The walls are carved with simple reliefs showing dwarf and gnome miners hard at work. Below them, nearly 24 skeletons and rusted scraps of armor are scattered across the cavern floor. Some are dwarf skeletons, while others are orc remains. Half a dozen large brass lanterns stand in niches on ledges around the cavern, but none are lit.
Guys, I think we have to be a little bit careful because we know that there's an army of undead down here.
Right, yes, they mentioned that.
Can I do an Arcana check just to see
You sure can.
what's going on? Ooh, natural 20.
You get sort of a gut feeling that there certainly is a lot of magic in the area. You don't sense anything specifically in this room, though.
Okay.
I have an idea.
Can't wait to hear it.
We don't know what's down here, but I know it could be reactive to whatever we do. So I'm going to take my keys. I'm going to chuck them down this hallway. If anything bad happens, we'll know.
Ranger, go ahead.
All right.
You don't need to roll. Just tell
All
me you're
right,
doing
here
it.
goes. Ha!
Oh, man.
So the keys go spinning off into the darkness, land in the center of the room, and all of a sudden you hear a rustle of wings, and your eyes are immediately drawn to the ceiling where you see a number of sort of leathery... Think kind of like a mix between a bat and a butterfly. So just kind of they've got like a proboscis. They've got leathery little wings. About 10 of these things, and they all of a sudden detach from the ceiling and start fluttering around the keys.
Well, that checks out.
And I look to Ranger and I'm like, good one, bro.
Roll for initiative.
I have 7.
16.
8 total.
I'm sitting pretty at a total of 7.
The Sturgies go first. A few of them sort of detach from the main group.
You telling me
Sturgies.
they called them Sturges and not batterflies?
We can call them butterflies if we want. We can
Yes,
take
I
them.
would prefer batterflies because I think that's what the Quinny yells, batterflies, and we're all like, that's what we're calling them now.
So the batterflies go first. A few of them seem distracted by the group that's just come in. You can see their proboscis are kind of like sniffing the air. It almost seems like they're seeking something out, something tasty. So they fly at you. Butthole, you're up front.
Yeah.
All right, they are going to try and attack you first.
As they fly at me, I yell, batter up!
Oh, man, it's all hitting.
One of them will manage to hit you.
Holy shit.
Its proboscis is kind of like probing around, and then it just sticks onto your forehead, and you can feel it start to suck your blood.
Oh, my God, it's brain bugging you.
Butthole, you are going to take 5 points of piercing damage, and it is attached to you.
Oh, great.
At the start of each turn, you will lose some health. A creature, including you, can use your action to rip it off your forehead. Next up, Alyn. You've just seen a horrible batterfly attach itself to Butthole's forehead and start sucking that sweet moonhammer blood.
And I just yell at Alyn behind me, no acid!
No, do you know what I'm gonna use? I'm gonna use the one that hits. I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at level 2, which so that gives me 4 missiles. So I can divide them. So I'm gonna target one at the guy attached to Butthole's head, and then
There are 10 of them flying.
yeah, then
right?
the 3 nearest ones.
Okay, great.
The Butthole one gets 4 damage.
Okay.
3, 2, and 2.
The first one explodes on Butthole's forehead, splattering his face with his own blood. The other ones also explode in a puff of leathery flesh and sadness. Next
You
up,
need at least 2 damage.
the second batch of batterflies begin to swarm in. Because they're flying, they're going to fly up over Butthole. So 2 to Ranger, 1 to Alyn, and 1 to Quinny. And 1 more at Butthole. So Butthole, it hits.
Really? My armor class is 20. This
Yeah,
is
I rolled a
insane.
19 and he gets plus 5.
Wow.
Dang.
Suck a dick.
Why did I even get this armor?
Because it looks so
Useless.
cool.
Should have worn a helmet.
Yeah, really, yeah.
So 5 damage and it stuck to your face. It bites the other side though.
It sucks that your only exposed skin is your head. God damn, this is awful.
Yeah, the rest of you, it's gonna be like, "Ow, my hand!" Is like Butthole. It's just going
It
for the win.
sucks, and the thing sucks him.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize.
Works on 2 levels.
2 against Ranger. Ranger, unfortunately, your hair is so majestic and tempting that the butterflies just they can't help themselves. They just suck right onto you. Take 10 points of damage, please, and you have 2 stuck to you. And then Alyn, as you fire out blasts of magic missiles, one of them has to dodge around one of them, and it fails to successfully bite into taste what half elf tastes like.
Nice.
Quinny, you manage to duck under the one flying at you, largely by using the people who are being bitten as distractions. Ranger, you have 2 blood-sucking creatures on your face. So there are a few things you can do. On your turn, you get a movement, you get an action, and you get a bonus action. Basically, you can attack twice. You can also use your action to just rip one of these little fuckers off.
Rip him off.
Great. Given that you're a 2-hand weapon fighter, I'm going to say you can probably rip with both hands. So you just grab those little fuckers.
Out of my temples.
Great. They are off your face. Butthole and Quinny, you both rolled a 7. I'm going to let you guys decide who goes first.
You want some sweet, sweet retribution?
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in on that. I've got Goblin Jr. behind me. Can I have Goblin Jr. take the fucking thing off my face?
Yeah, and I'm going to say Goblin Jr., by doing so, probably chomps. Anything with 2 hit points, I think, probably doesn't survive past a bite.
I love that fucking dog so much.
Do you have 2 in you? Or?
I just had 1 because Alyn exploded 1.
Yeah.
right.
And then Goblin Jr.'s killed the second one. So there are 5 left?
There
I
are
took
5
the brunt.
Okay, so who, directly behind me is Ranger.
Ranger holding a batterfly in each hand.
Yeah, just jerking him towards his face. And I say to Ranger, I'm like, pull! And I gesture for him to throw it in the air, and I'm just going to, like, 2-hand it with the Warhammer the moment he lets it go.
All right. Roll.
21 total.
You just smash that little fuck right against the wall.
And it explodes awesomely.
Oh, naturally. Yeah, it's full of Ranger
All right,
blood.
so he's dead. Quinny, you're up.
All right, so this batterfly took a pass at me, and I managed, I guess, to hit the dirt or whatever.
Yep.
And so I'll get up and try and loose an arrow at it.
Nice.
Fire my short bow at it as it comes back around. So that's 16 plus 6.
All right, you managed to tag it. Roll your damage.
3.
Great. It explodes.
Sweet.
I'm like, listen, they're scary and they really hurt you, but it's super satisfying to kill one.
I still have 1 more. Someone make it explode.
Which brings us to the top of the round. One of the batterflies is going to try and attack Alyn again, which is battering around your head. It will fail.
So how many of them are still alive?
There are 3 left. So Ranger's got 1 in one hand, and there's 1 attacking Alyn, and there's 1 more just sort of flitting around the ceiling. Alyn.
All right, and having seen Quinny fire his bow, I'm like, oh, right, I also have weapons that aren't magic that could be useful and don't expend spell slots. So I take out my crossbow, and I fire at the one that's flitting around my head.
Groovy, please roll me an attack.
So 17 total.
17 total. You hit it.
Cool. And damage,
I think it's a D6, right? Or is it?
D8.
Oh, for light.
Light crossbow.
Dang.
That's not
Your hand
D8.
crossbows.
I know. I'm a little baby boy and I can't hold a light
5.
crossbow.
5. That'll do it. You fire a bolt into it. You're as surprised as it is as it gets pinned to a wall, kind of like in some kind of like creepy butterfly display. But one of them swoops down. It is going to attack Quinny, so it will hit you.
Okay.
And begin to suck your blood. So 5 points of damage, and 1 is attached to you. Ranger, can you please roll me a strength check?
16.
So the one in your hand is desperately trying to break free, but unfortunately it cannot. Your grip is too firm from all that. You've done so much hair weaving.
From all that ranger masturbation.
Paid off in the end.
So it struggles, but it cannot get free. Which brings us to Ranger.
I'm going to use my hunter's mark on this thing.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to end your life.
Okay.
Yep. Roll an attack.
20.
Jesus Christ. So you look at it, you mark it, you
take
say,
your blood back.
I'm going to end your life, and you Ozzy Osbourne that. You just bite its head right off, and then I think spit it at the other one. There you go. Now he knows what's coming for him. Great. And because you dual wield and stuff, you can attack the other one that's still flying around if you'd like.
And I will. 15.
So you rip one's head off with your teeth, spit it out, pull your sword, and swing mightily, and you manage to strike the other one. So roll your damage. So you deal 6 points of damage. It is dead. It is a very dead butterfly. You managed
Was it good for you?
Well, you should ask Quinny because you just carved it off his face ever so delicately. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
it
close
was on
shave,
me, yeah.
which is the end of combat.
So I reach over to the wall and I take the one that's pinned there and I take the one out of Goblin Jr.'s mouth and I walk over to Ranger and I go, you can eat these. Then I give the 2 bodies to him.
Yes.
Cool.
What does malaria taste like?
Tastes good, dick face.
A likely case of malaria after an oral decapitation? What could possibly happen next? Will Ranger kidnap Alyn and take her back to her former temple? Will Ranger eat every enemy they kill, no matter how smelly? Will Ranger and Quinny just kiss already? Listen on to find out. And if you like what you hear, you can follow us at DD&D Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. That's DD Podcast. You can also support the show and further our journey through our Patreon at patreon.com/garbageproductions or visit our website at garbageproductions.net, not .com. A .com is only for creatures that stick to your face and don't have a punny enough name. We are garbageproductions.net. But more importantly than all that, tune in next time for another episode of Dum Dums and Dragons!